Thank you, Steve. Are we on? Is my slide on? Hi, I'm Marcus Romer from Pilot Theatre. I've never been on the graveyard slots this long, and everyone's just gone. But anyway, welcome for those who are staying. Congratulations, we're all winners. I'm Marcus Romer, and this is ASL. This is a show we made 5 years ago. You want to know my age, sex, location? I'm, in fact, Marcus Romer, the artistic director of Pilot Theatre based at York Theatre Royal. And the big thing for me is that we make work. We make work, we produce work. And what I want to show you is lots of slides of work that we've made in the past. And particularly, I want to show you what we've got in the box. We're going to open the box, or we're going to take the money. And particularly around the idea of technology being a little bit like a car. Actually, I've no idea if my car breaks down how to fix it. I know what I need to do in terms of... We need you to stand in front of the light. Okay. Okay, thank you. I thought you were just being nice. I've no idea how my car works. If it breaks down, I've just got to phone someone up. The same is true of the technology. I want to just use it as my car. I want to go on some interesting journeys to some interesting places with some interesting people and to come back with some interesting stories. That's what this stuff does. So I'm going to open the box. So what we do is we create new work. We tour nationally, internationally. Our primary target age is between the ages of 14 and 26, but not exclusively. Looking at new ways of delivery and communication. Theatre is a very old tool, but actually it's got a lot of things to tell us now, particularly with this new technology. We like to make live connections. Our work is live, so is the internet. That's one of the things that we do. And engagement is the really big key thing for us at the moment. And engagement can sometimes feel a little bit like that. Very briefly, the digital opportunities, again, talking about engagement. You can engage with the work that you make, the audiences that you're developing and connecting with, and also the colleagues you work with. And sometimes when you're working in that way, and sometimes it can feel a little bit scary, it can feel a little bit like you're trying to fight through from different areas and trying to reach through. And sometimes it can feel like there's some barriers. Sometimes it can feel like that. And actually, sometimes you've just got to go in and get your hands dirty. You've got to make some discoveries, you've got to learn some new stuff, you've got to try it out, and you've got to take risks, and you've got to fail better. There's no point in not getting on the bus because you're not quite sure where it's going. You've got to get on the bus now. That's what it is. Sometimes it can feel a little bit like that, and you've got to nurse a few things back to life again. And sometimes it can feel like things are working really well. That was a live project we did 3 years ago, live in Amsterdam and live in York, connected via Skype. And when you get that right, it really sometimes feels like that. That's our Sing Your Heart Out project, which we played at Birmingham Rep a couple of years ago. Very briefly, a lot of this stuff is online for you to download, but really, we've all got an online strategy, or we should have by now, which really is your core activity, the website, and you can add the platforms that are right for you. That's the key to it. You don't have to add them all. Add the ones that work for you. They're all out there. Every single item on there is free in terms of being able to access it and also utilise it. You're building communities and you're creating that keyword engagement. And you start getting things like audience feedback. It's fantastic. People start writing things back. There's a picture here. Anyone know where that is? That's Verona. These are all notes left outside Juliet's house, the fictional character from Romeo and Juliet, written 450 years ago by an English playwright. She never actually lived there. This is a fictional character space. These are love notes left now in Verona. What the equivalent of that is now is we're online with YouTube, where people start to connect and leave messages. We want to have that personalisation of story. We built a show on MySpace. That was designed by a 15-year-old on placement. Don't get hung up by brand. Let them do it for you. Let people do the work for you. It wouldn't be the way we'd chosen to do it, but it worked for that particular project. It's got a hub in Second Life, and sometimes our shows look a little bit like that as well. Now, where did the journey start for me? I'm going to talk about the journey that we've been working together with Kit and myself. Started when I went to TED in California. Anyone who hasn't been to the TED.com site, I strongly recommend you go there and have a look at some of the TED Talks. It's like a crash course in anything you've ever wanted to know. They're all free and the quality is extraordinary. Through the Creative Commons license, you can embed them in your site and share them with your friends and colleagues. They're extraordinary. I met the director of Pixar Studios there, who said that when they start a project, the technology does not exist for them to complete it. They have to invent it on the way. That's what we do as artists, that's what we've been doing for centuries, and that's the kind of parallel about this new live work that's happening now with the Web 2 stuff. And the world is changing. Some of the old stuff's being rubbed out and scrubbed out. You can't really see that slide. And some of it starts to change. The journey then started when I met Kit. When we came back from that conference, we suddenly realised there was a big world out there that we wanted to connect with. We're a small organisation of 4 people, and then suddenly we worked together with KMA. We produced a piece of work which is for an audience of 15,000 in Sheffield Arena and for a TV audience of 500 million. We did actually really nearly lose our minds on it, but we learnt loads in terms of the Bollywood project, the opening of the Bollywood Awards in last year. We ran our own conference called Shift Happens. We're doing it again next year, a little bit like our own mini TED. We started to make projects in New York, and we've got our own live TV channel. Very briefly, the things we're going to talk about today are some of the projects we're working towards for 2012, in terms of some of the immersive projects which are blurring the edges between audience, participant, and audience. So that's about artist, participant, and audience who are really getting together, and some of those things are being blurred. And the big thing for me is that Wikinomics, the whole new concept behind this, is about openness, peering, sharing, and acting globally. Openness is the new control, and for organisations who've been used to being controlled, that's a very big one to get over. But believe me, that's the only way to go, and you never know what's going to pop up next. So thank you much indeed. Keep your eyes open. Here's Kit Monkman. Thank you.